As we welcome in my old colleague at 97.5 The Fanatic, Mr. Harry Mays, who is that a library in the background there? H, what's going on?
Yeah, I've got a stash of books here. I'm a well-read man, Johnny, as you know.
Is that War and Peace that I see over your right ear? Oh, there you go.
Yeah, Dostoevsky, I got back there. I got it all.
All right, so
Congratulations on the new show, by the way. The studio looks great. You look comfortable in that chair.
I'm not.
This is beautiful.
I'm not comfortable in the chair. I want a desk just to let the people in. I want a desk where I can stand up. But I mean, the chair is not bad.
Yeah.
You ever go to a restaurant where there's matchbooks underneath the high tops because it's uneven?
Yeah, the uneven table. Yeah.
They have a book, a John Wooden book underneath one of the legs of this chair.
Really? I have a wooden book in that bookshelf back there.
Probably the same thing. You probably get it free like somebody did here. All right, so give me your first takeaway from Friday night's game, Harry.
Well, I look at these early games with the way they've adjusted preseason and the way they practice in August as a slop fest. I'm sort of anticipating sloppy football, penalties, and so forth. And we got that Friday night. In fact, the Eagles in that first quarter were very fortunate to not be down 14-0 with the way they played on offense. I mean, Hurts was horrible. They just looked like they weren't ready to play. But then in the second quarter, both teams really got it going, and you still had a lot of penalties. Hurts, turns the ball over way too much. And those two interceptions that he threw are like passes that you're trying to get coached out of since you're 12 years old on the midget football team. I mean, late and down the middle and across your body into the end zone. I mean, those are cardinal sin types of interceptions, which really concerned me. And then you had the mishandled snap, or I guess Juergens kind of snapped it before Hurts was ready. You kind of anticipated maybe some trouble between those two now that Kelsey has retired, and then they had the botch snap on the tush push attempt late in the game, which, I'm out on the tush push right now. With Kelsey gone, can we just shelve that and give it to your big horse running back who would have had 4 touchdowns in his debut? Saquon Barkley was amazing. And, some other guys really showed. Juergens and Becton and their tandem blocking on that offensive line really stood out to me. Zach Vaughn was all over the place making tackles. Nakobe Dean showed me some flashes, and then he showed me some young guy mistakes. The guy who really jumped out at me was Quinyon Mitchell, the first round pick. I know he made one mistake where he peeked into the backfield and got caught, but he's really aggressive. He's physical. I like the way that guy didn't play like a rookie on Friday night. So that jumped out at me.
Yeah. I thought the defense played pretty well, honestly.
Yeah.
Look at the first quarter.
Especially in that first quarter.
If that's a 14-0 game or a 10-0 game, it's a lot different, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And they got to stop. Blankenship on the interception. That's a huge interception in that spot.
Yep.
They got stops. This is not going to be a top 3 defense in the league.
No,
right?
but they're going to score a lot of points.
Defense.
I mean, somebody asked me back in July, what do you think of the Eagles? You got this all the time. I said, well, I think they're going to score a lot of points, but I also think they could give up a lot of points. It's going to be a lot of 35-28 type games, and that's what we got on Friday night.
You're going to have to play in the 30s. Get back to the Jalen Hurts throws. And he made some good throws too, and he was good on that final drive.
Yeah.
I don't understand the mentality of making those throws.
I don't either.
I don't like the first one. It's like, just throw it up there. What are you doing? You're like punting it.
Exactly. The first one deep down the middle. I mean, I hate to go back and use these, examples of guys that you're not playing Vanderbilt on a Saturday night in September. You can't make those throws and get away with it like you could back in the day when you were playing in college. He still showed signs of real youth, and he's been in this league now a bunch of years. I mean, that concerns me that he's still making those mistakes.
No, I agree, and that bothered me. But the final where he throws the interception, he almost throws a pick 6 on second down.
Exactly. Yeah.
And luckily that didn't happen. And then he comes back. It's 3rd and 13. If it's not there, you throw it out of the back of the freaking end zone, and now you're up by 8. I get it. You want the game put away. You're up by 12. You score a touchdown. You go up by 12. Game's over, right?
Right.
It
Right.
wasn't there. He's throwing across his freaking body, sailing it into the middle of the end zone. Like, I don't understand the mentality of a player that's making big money in his second contract, has been to a Super Bowl. Sorry, like his passing's regressed since 2022. He had 15 interceptions last year, Harry, and there were a lot of them were bad like that. They were bad interceptions Friday night.
Way too loose with the ball. I totally agree with you. But he did make some plays down the stretch in that final drive with his legs too. And the Packers had him bottled up for most of the game. When he tried to use his legs, but he made a couple of big plays. The one first down that he got, and his connections with Devontae Smith are awesome. I mean, Devontae Smith is a first down machine. That guy, you throw him the ball anywhere in his area on a 3rd down and 6, he's going to get beyond the sticks. He's not one of these receivers that runs one of those routes where you're like, oh my God, he didn't even get to the first down mark. He's always 2 or 3 yards beyond it, and he's going to catch the football, and you're going to move the chains. So they did a lot of good things, I thought, in that final possession. You would have wished that they gave it to Saquon one more time and made it an easy final minute or two, but they didn't.
Yeah, AJ's obviously a phenomenal talent.
Oh, yeah.
I'm with you. I'm a Devontae guy. When you need a big catch, like you had said, he's not. If it's 3rd and 8, he's getting 8.5 yards. It's a first down. He's not running 7 and being like, oh damn, you got to make sure you go to 6. Smart player, great routes. Really, you know what he is, Harry? He's a great compliment to A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown's an explosive beast.
Yeah.
Athletic beast. You saw that on
he's
the
a
touchdown
monster.
catch.
Yep.
And Devontae is every bit as good, but in different ways. They really balance themselves really well. And then you talk about Saquon, and you saw this on the touchdown reception. Kellen Moore can design plays. Man, you're worried about AJ and Devontae coming over the middle. If they ever figure out a way to get Dallas Goedert involved, and then Saquon perfectly runs out of the backfield right past the linebacker, right before the safety's ever able to make it over. Jalen had a good throw. And they're going to be really tough to beat if these guys stay healthy.
Yeah, they really are. And of course, that offensive line, too, is one of the best in the league.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all set up for Jalen Hurts to make a deep run here. And I mean, if he can somehow get some of those crazy throws, out of the repertoire, I think they're going to be all right. I think this win is going to look like a really good win come November and December, because I think Green Bay is a pretty good football team. Now, I know the quarterback's out for a little while there. Unfortunate that he got banged up on the final couple of plays, but I think that win is going to look really, really good later on this season against a good NFC team.
And the thing about it, the Eagles score a touchdown there. They give it to Saquon and he goes in. He's not injured because the Eagles don't defend any plays from there on out because the game's over and he doesn't get injured. So he literally is going to miss probably 4 games because of a shit play that didn't even matter. So,
right. Yeah.
Just one more complaint here. The defense I thought played well. Bryce Huff and Nolan Smith pretty much gave you nothing.
Yeah.
And Bryce Huff was brought in here, and I can see now why they decided they wanted to move on from Hassan Reddick. But you also have to replace his production. Hassan Reddick was the best player on defense for the last 2 years for the Eagles. Mm-hmm. And Bryce Huff showed nothing. And he had the double-digit sack year. I didn't know his name before the Eagles signed him, so it's not like that he flashed to me when I was watching Red Zone. Nolan Smith seems like he's a bust. Also, he looks too small, doesn't look fast enough. If his one move is to try to get around the edge on these tackles, good luck.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, week 1, it's definitely a bust. That's got to be better. That was one of the concerns I had. Was the way Green Bay was gashing them with the run in the second half. I mean, Green Bay, their running backs, Jacobs and I forget the other guy's name, Wilson. We're having some nice runs on that Eagles defense. That's a concern. Defensively, they're going to give up points. I think we just got to be comfortable with the fact that our offense is going to have to go 31 to 35 to 38 pretty much every week to have a win.
Harry, tell everybody what you're doing right now, because I know if you want analysis and tidbits and bites like this, Harry Mays is available for you after every Eagles game. Harry, what are you doing?
Yeah, we're doing on the Locked On podcast network, the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube page, and wherever you get your podcasts. Me and Jason Martinez, our old colleague from the radio days, are doing it as soon as the soon as the clock hits 0, we're on for about 30 minutes. They want us off after 30 because we'll probably say something stupid, if we go
Yes.
beyond 30 minutes. But so we were up late on Friday night, and we'll be up late on Monday night as 2 primetime games to open the season. You said it, that line's up to 6 points now. I watched a little bit of Atlanta yesterday, and man, they lost to Fields and the kicker for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Atlanta stinks.
Wow, what a bad opening week for Atlanta at home.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. All right. Well, and I can't even call Jason Martinez anymore because there's an actual Jason Martinez in Philadelphia for
That's
Fox
right
29.
On Fox. Yeah.
So they really get confused and be like, "Oh, you do it?" No, Jason Martinez, our old buddy from the Fanatic, Mr. Flyer. Also, so check that out with Harry. Also, follow everything that he does. You can check out his Twitter page or whatever at Harry Mays, MAYESTU, and the TU, unfortunately, Harry.
Yeah.
Is for Temple University.
Yeah, it's a basketball school once again. That's all there is to it. I don't even know if I'm going to tune in on any of the football games based on the results of the first 2 weeks. I'm at the point now where I'm saying, you know what, let's drop football and just sink whatever money's available into the basketball program and let's go.
Yeah, it's a basketball school. It's not very good at basketball anymore, Harry. I agree with you.
I'm optimistic about Coach Fisher, though. He's got some good recruits coming in there this year and next year. So, I'm optimistic there.
All right. Well, dump that. Are you contributing to the NIL fund at all, Harry?
I spend all my money on golf right now.
Harry also doing the Swingin' and Dingin' podcast. Again, just check out his Twitter. Yeah. You can see it all. All right, Harry, I appreciate it, buddy.
Absolutely. Anytime, Johnny. You know my number.
I do. I'll talk to you soon. All right.
All right. You got it.